Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to LRSD TV. I'm Liam Elson.
And I'm Jasmine O'Meara, and we are your week's host for this week's edition of our community newscast, The Connection.
Now we will throw it down to Halen Agasser, who is downstairs with Mr. Todd Tyler and Miss Michelle Grant to discuss the activities happening here at the Arts and Technology Center. Halen?
Thank you, guys. So, Mr. Tyler, what has been happening here at ATC, and why did you decide to make these changes?
Well, we met with the student council, and the student council was telling us that they wanted to have more things to do at lunch hour. So we started a number of clubs, and we started a lot of intramural programs at lunch.
And Mrs. Grant, I understand that you're starting an art club, and can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I've got a group of really enthusiastic students that are meeting Mondays and Fridays, and they've started doing painting, and over the semester are going to work on a number of projects with the goal of either donating them to the school or through to our project that we do later in second semester.
That's very interesting. And Mr. Tyler, can you tell us a little bit more about the Re-Elevate clothing drive that's been happening here in the school division?
Yeah, the Re-Elevate clothing drive happens every year. Last year, our goal was to have one item of clothing for every student in the school. So we have about 300 students, and the students did a great job and brought in over 600 items. So this year, our goal is 700 items, and we're off to a good start. You can see we've started collecting some clothes already.
Thank you, Mr. Tyler, and thank you, Mrs. Grant. Back to you guys on the studio.
ATC hosted a fall buffet to showcase the culinary and 150 people attended the event, enjoying a great meal, and has been a tradition at ATC for many years now. The tickets were $15 and the buffet was completely sold out. We talked to Maria Pollock, a guest of the buffet, as to why she comes each year.
Well, you know what, it's a good way to support the collegiate, and to also see where the future chefs will be. And I think they're all going to pass just fine because the food is amazingly nice.
On October 29th, students from École Varennes join the residents at Riverside Lions Seniors Home. On this day, students interact with seniors with various activities. The students collaborated with residents to create Halloween cookies. They are provided with different icings and sprinkles to help decorate the choice of cookies. The teachers of École Varennes has said that the kids love the experience and appreciate the opportunity to spend time with the residents.
So there's When Madame Paulette approached me to do it, I was super excited because I remembered visiting my grandma in the seniors home, and I remember how happy it made her that we'd come, she'd sing with us, we'd do crafts, and that's kind of what I saw us doing. And so today we decorated cookies, and next week we're going to be decorating Christmas ornaments. So every week we do something special. It allows the kids to naturally converse with the seniors, and it makes my heart happy to come here every time to watch the kids taking initiative and seeing how mature they are. It's so fun to watch.
The kids and residents spent some quality time with each other. The kids got to sit and talk with residents about the differences and challenges that they have faced in their lifetimes. Community liaison worker Paulette Cote has said their experiences have further helped the students to understand and appreciate the stories and messages the residents have shared with them.
Well, I had a vision a long time ago as community liaison that it's so important for kids to have multiple experiences. And in order to enrich their education, I think it's very important we get out in the community and they get to connect, because a lot of kids don't have the time or the opportunity to connect with seniors.
The kids will visit again in the beginning of November, where they will decorate Christmas ornaments with the residents.
On October 31st, Darwin celebrates Halloween in a different way. They did some activities with the grade 1 students and related to Halloween, which incorporated pumpkins into their math and science classes. The Darwin students promoted generosity during their Halloween Spirit Week by partnering with Winnipeg Harvest to scare hunger. Students and staff brought in items for Winnipeg Harvest during Spirit Week. The day started off with the teacher talking about the week's activities. Kids and teachers were wearing their Halloween costumes. The teacher then asked some questions about the pumpkin's color, texture, shape, and weight. The kids were eager and excited during the events. Shiva Clausen, a math and science teacher, explained to the kids about volume and approximation with some pumpkin and math-related activities. Then it ended with beautiful Halloween songs sang by the teacher and the students. Clausen was excited about the Scare Hunger movement.
We've done We Scare Hunger for the last few years at Darwin. The big issue is at Halloween, while the kids are getting candy, you realize there's a lot of families that have a need for basic nutrition. So we thought we would just not focus just on costumes, but what can we do as a generosity project in the Riel School Division. So We Scare Hunger is not new for us. It is a program that's been around for quite a few years in the city.
Halloween was in full force over at Ecole Van Bellingham. Students from all grades participated in a special haunted house to celebrate the scary holiday. We have more in this report.
Students from Ecole Van Bellingham organized a haunted house for all the other students. This was an event that lasted all day, starting with the kindergartners till grade 4 before lunch and the older students after. This is something that the school does every year. The grade 6 class spent nearly a month planning the whole event.
Leadership group, so in grade 6, and then because they're a leadership group, they get to organize things that are around the school, things that are in the community, things that we do we used to do things for recess, not so much anymore, but things like the haunted house is a big part of their scope.
Some students even got the chance to become storytellers for the haunted house in order to scare the other students. They even made up their own stories that were told on their own.
Scaring the kids because my older brother did this and he scared me and I wanted to get him back. It's just so much fun to see the environment and just see how it goes and actually be a part of it and do all that.
When I went in the haunted houses every other year, they were doing something similar, so I just thought that was a good idea.
This year's haunted house was clearly a success because the younger students told us that they enjoyed the event.
At the first part, AV and me both got scared.
It was I like when it does potions and stuff. I love potions. I like everything. I love scariness. That's Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year.
The haunted house seems to be a very successful event here at Ecole Van Bellingham. For The Connection, I am Jasmine O'Meara. Ecole Van Bellingham wasn't the only school celebrating Halloween. On October 29th, Ecole Marie-Anne Gabory organized a haunted house for all the students. Teachers and students from the leadership group worked on this activity for the week. The haunted house consisted of a maze, jungle gym, and a laser room. It was an event that lasted almost all day, starting with the kindergartners to grade 6. Students were really excited about this activity and shared their thoughts with us.
I really like this activity. I think that it's a super fun and interactive way to hang out with the little kids, and I love seeing their little faces when they see how fun and how decorated the gym looks.
I think this activity is a really fun activity for the school. It lets all the kids come and have some fun before Halloween and get to hang out and see what leadership gets to do for the school.
We're going to throw it down to Thomas Sellers, who is down at Dakota Collegiate, to talk to Mikhail Garello about his experience in the Obstacle Course Racing World Championships in London, England. Thomas?
I'm here with Mikhail Garello, a gym teacher here at Dakota Collegiate, who recently just got back from the Obstacle Course Racing World Championship in London, England, where he ran 15 kilometers and went through 100 obstacles, and he got 14th overall and second among North American racers. And the second day, he also got gold in the team event in obstacle racing. So could you describe what obstacle racing is for us?
Sure. Actually, good job on all the statistics. It was all 100% correct. In terms of obstacle racing, it's kind of like mountain running and trail running. And then they throw in military style obstacles, so like carrying heavy weight, going through monkey bars, barbed wire crawls, and over walls. And then you have kind of what most people would say are like Ninja Warrior obstacles, where it's a lot of hanging obstacles and challenging technique ones. And then you're adding some water obstacles just to kind of get you muddy and wet, so it makes everything more difficult.
What got you interested into obstacle racing, and how old when you started?
Yeah, I was about 3 years ago. I came from playing every sport in high school and kind of training like an athlete, so I was just kind of looking for the next thing, and obstacle racing is kind of a perfect balance of running and strength and fitness, so it was an easy transition, and it's still a lot of fun.
And what was the biggest challenge for you in London at the race?
I think traveling over there, it was a long, full day of travel, and then with the time change, that was a difficult thing, just coming over all the way to London for a couple days. And then the weather was obviously a little difficult out there, definitely rainy and cold, so that makes things a little more difficult on race day.
And what did it feel like to win for Canada in the team event?
Yeah, it's exciting to team up with athletes you've competed against the whole year, and you kind of take the best athletes from your country, and to compete with them was a lot of fun, and see all the international athletes as well. And then we ended up winning by only 3 seconds, so it was a really exciting race and fun to finish off in first place.
Thank you for joining us. And
No problem.
I'm Thomas Sellers at Dakota Collegiate for The Connection.
Let's move on to sports. We have Graham Forsyth reporting on some highlights and scores from the Riel School Division. Graham?
Thanks, Jaspy. We start off this week's action in the volleyball world. The Glenlawn varsity girls team was in action Monday as they took on the Northland Parkway School. Glenlawn came into the game after winning in 4 sets against Steinbach last Monday. They continued their strong play in this game too. In this play, Northland would spike the ball, but Glenlawn could not handle the heat. The Lions would, however, come back in the game, as they would end up winning the match in 3 sets. 25-16, 25-10, and 25-18 was the final. Now moving on to high school hockey. Belleville took on Fort Richmond in C Division action last Wednesday. So down 1-0 in the second period, Fort Richmond set up the nice cross-ice pass, and they made no mistake, tying the game at 1 apiece. With just over 12 minutes left in the third period though, Belleville captain Evan Rogers would drive the puck to the net, and he would eventually pick up the rebound, and he would give his team the 2-1 lead. But Fort Richmond wouldn't go down without a fight. With just over 40 seconds left in the game, Fort Richmond throws the puck on net, and they would pick up the rebound and tie the game at 2. Fort Richmond ended up winning the game in overtime 3-2, giving Belleville their first loss of the season. That's all for this week in sports. I'll send it back to you guys.
Here are some reminders and announcements to end our show. LRSD TV is launching a brand new video game review show which will be titled LRSD Game Review. Make sure to go check it out.
Coming up this weekend, we'll be having our very first live broadcast of the season, which will be covering the St. Vital Classic volleyball games.
Next Thursday and Friday, we'll be at Investors Group Field to broadcast the WHSFL Bowl games.
And don't forget to donate winter clothing for the Re-Elevate clothing drive.
That's all for the show this week's edition of The Connection. Go to our website at LRSD.TV to see more episodes of The Connection and upcoming sporting events.
Also, be sure to check out our social media to keep up to date on what's happening here at LRSD TV.
Tune in on November 8th for our next segment of The Connection. I'm Liam Elson.
And I'm Jasmine O'Meara. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.